Glory to you, mighty protector. Your instincts have brought you to the mysterious, fog-shrouded Isle of Albion, a place of great power and ancient secrets. Here you reside within the realms of the Northmen of Norska. Their chaos-worshipping ways are an affront to the Great Plan, and cannot be tolerated. Further south, straddling the River Rake, are the warm bloods of the Empire. Feeble men who will surely offer up little resistance to your mighty horde. The Bretonnians also dwell nearby. They have long sought to vanquish the Chaos Worshippers, a purpose which aligns with the Great Plan. Perhaps they can be of some use to you in this struggle. Go forth and wreak destruction, Nakai. It is your calling. Purge the world of chaos and restore the glory of the Old Ones.
Hello, MonstersAbound here, and welcome to a brand new campaign with brand new DLC, The Hunt and the Beast. We are playing as Nakai the Wanderer, a big old crocodillio. There he is. It's considered to be the spirit of the jungle itself. Quite a title. He is the last crocodillio of the first spawning, so he's getting on. But to be fair, he's looking pretty good for 8,000 years old. During the big oopsie, when the Old One's polar warp gates collapsed, likely due to funding cuts, he defended the temple city of Talaxla before it fell. I think I said that right. As the only survivor, because it didn't work out there, Nakai hit the road and made his way to Itza, where Lord Croak was still holding out against the demonic hordes. Nakai killed every demon that tried to cross the Bridge of Stars into Itza, to the point that even the psychotic bloodthirsts of Khorne suddenly decided to go and check to see if they'd had the gas on at home rather than face him, which for demons who love nothing more than warfare and who almost certainly don't own a gas hob is pretty impressive. Wherever Nakai turns up, he is considered to be of great importance, and the skink priests shower him with golden tokens, probably slipping them into his G-string and telling him to get himself something nice. So we're playing Mortal Empires as Nakai, and we get to see the new Albion. There's new Albion. It used to have one settlement on it, now it's got 3. Isle of Wight. I see what they did there, because it's full of... Anyway, okay, you can bugger off. Now, so Nakai. Exactly. Nakai is a horde-like faction, but with some differences. So, how they play the Spirits of the Jungle. The success of the Old One's great plan hangs a balance. Defeat foreign invaders and reclaim the list of men's ancient lost cities, installing the defenders of the Great Plan as their rightful owners. The defenders will maintain the temple cities gifted to them. Devote yourself to either green, blue or red Old Ones by constructing a temple in their name, much like the end of Mass Effect 3. It will please them, apparently, providing a raft of rewards and earning favour, which can then be used to unlock powerful units and technologies. And as a horde, we actually have like a big old float. Look at this. We've got a big old floating city temple thingy. Look, it levitates. How cool is that? So that's where Nakai lives, and that's where we're going to be building all of our buildings. And what Nakai builds in his floating temple thing, our other hordes, when we get them, can also recruit from that same pool. So it kind of, unlike Beastmen, where you need to keep trading units across, or your armies all need to move together, and it's a little bit awkward because if your main army gets destroyed, then you've got some issues. Nakai, actually, it's a lot easier with Nakai, which I quite like. So if we go and take one of these, well, first we've got Hokek Tada. Hello. You are tough. Oh, that's nice. Rugged, resistance, and almost unbreakable. This being can and will take on all comers. Oh, look at his little face. He's fucking adorable. Holy shit. Okay. So we've got Chapter of Detective. We need to vassal, hold 4 settlements. So let's go and put this guy in our army. Let's go and give old Nakai a hug. Excellent. And we'll go and take on the Citadel of Lead, where no doubt the people of the Citadel of Lead are probably not the smartest. And they're probably not the sharpest spoon to draw. If it's a citadel entirely made of lead, they're probably a little bit slow. But that's fine. Let's go and kill Pav. Pav's going to get it. Now, you should never smile at a crocodile. Don't be taken in by his welcome grin, because he will fuck you up. And Nakai the Wanderer will fuck you up. He looks amazing, though. Look at him go. I can't say this enough, but the animators at Creative Assembly do a fucking brilliant job, don't they? Just looks so weighty. How do you make him do that? How make good animation? Need know. Just feel like I'll be bad at it. God, he looks so good as well. Look how good he looks. I love him. I love him so much. Okay, so that's Nakai, and then over on our left flank we've got our Croxagors. So we've got the Sacred Croxagors. These guys have power fists. Yep, that's right. Crackling, electric knuckle dusters. Sure, why not? And then we've got just the normal Croxagors. They're not sacred. Sad times. And as such, they just carry maces. Oh. On our right flank, we've got our skink cohort with javelins. And they're currently going to use these javelins to fill these guys over here, the Marauder Champions, full of javelins, because these guys are quite tanky. And they've also quite good at killing people. So we're going to make sure they can't do that by filling them full of the aforementioned javelins. In comes Nakai. Now, Nakai does have a hell of an attack where he does this, which looks fucking amazing, but as you can tell, does tend to make him end up right in the middle of an enemy unit, which is fine, but it can mean he gets into trouble. The Marauders taking quite a lot of javelins to the back, which is good. The Skink's chucking them in there. That's excellent. The Croxagors now charging down straight into the Marauder Hunters, so they're going to punch those to death. That guy was punched to death, and he doesn't know it anymore. So was that guy. Basically, there's a lot of people being punched to death. They do like pile drivers, which is amazing. I think they also like shoot their little balls. I'm not 100% sure of that. I think like some of these are like whip weapons or something. Well, either way, they're just punching people to death, which is amazing. I love it. They've managed to break those already. Our little skink priest, he's buffing us. He's only got harmonic convergence, which increases melee attack and defense quite substantially, so we're going to be using that. In they come. Knock it. Oh, amazing. Just pile drive straight into the rear of these marauders, punching people to death. Nakai is up to 34 kills already. He's tanking an entire unit by himself, and he does not care. Yep, 37 kills. Good work there. Our skinks, having thrown all of their javelins, have charged into the rear of the Marauder Champions. This might sound like a bad idea, but charging into the rear of an enemy unit reduces their melee defense and also, I believe, armor. So these skinks they've actually managed to kill 11, and they don't have particularly good stats. So tanking those, that's working out pretty well. These Marauders are not running away, though. They're just sitting here being murdered, which I guess is fine, but we're taking a lot of damage from doing it. As you can see, Sarah Spear's almost down to half health. Our Sacred Crocs are up to over 100 kills, though. They've been punching Marauders to death, and it's been working great. Where's our Croc scores? They are chasing... Oh, yes, they're chasing the Hunters down, because otherwise they're just going to throw axes at us, and I don't really like that idea, so we'll put a stop to that. Some spears have come back to join the fight, hitting the skink cohort in the flank. That's not ideal. A lot of little adorable skink geckos are going to get stabbed to death. Oh well. Nakai's finally jumped in to help against the Marauder Champions. There he is. That was Saras, Nakai. You can't batter them as well. They're friends. However, it looks like Nakai taking on the Marauder Champions has broken them, and being their general... Did you just punch a bunch of skinks? Jesus, that's brutal. Never mind. The enemy army's on the run. Go us. First win. Moleskin garrisons are nothing to sneeze at. Now, we get an option. The Citadel of Lead. We can go green, blue, or red. Now, if we go red, then we get bonuses that sort of affect Croxagor. We get... sort of blessed beasts, things like Saras and stuff, and we get an ability which can summon Razordons, which I think sounds pretty good. If we go for blue, it's mostly winds of magic and magic using characters. Apparently we can get powerful whirlwinds, so we get good wind. Lovely. And if we go green, then it's mostly Saurus, and we also get temporary invulnerability. Now, I feel like going red, because I feel like having summoned Razordon sounds pretty good. So let's go red. So we've got an artifact hunter, something that other races were not meant to disturb. Death has always surrounded it. It is not of this world. Ugh. Creepy. Okay, so Nakai the Wanderer. So he's got a skill tree that goes. So he's got legendary warriors. That's more leadership, aura size, character aura. That's going to go. Charge bonus, weapon strength. He's also got discourage, so reduces leadership and causes terror. First spawning, which makes his entire army move a little bit faster, and also gives Croxagore and Sacred Croxagore frenzy, which is quite nice. Adornments, casualty replenishment rate increase, and horde growth, and then finally makes him unbreakable, which dubious. He also gets 2 abilities. So gets Miasma of Despair, which reduces leadership, speed, and vigor for people around him. And also that upgrades then to the Aura of Inertia, which reduces speed even more. So we'll make those units very, very slow. But on the other, it doesn't really have like a lot of bonuses. Some hit points there. He gets 2 ability. He gets 2 items. So he's got the Golden Tributes, which gives him more melee defense, ward save, and perfect vigor for people around him. And the Orgrim Shard, which we've seen the quest battle of, which gives him magic resistance, some casualty replenishment rate, and untainted, which, I guess it's alright. But he doesn't really have like the big bonuses for Croxagore like I was hoping he would have. He's got the normal ones, so we can go +8s, melee attack and melee defense there. And then we can also get another melee defense, more missile resistance, and some leadership, which is fine. If we have a look at his traits. Yeah, exactly. If we have a look at his traits, so we can see that Nakai's Horde unlocks units while other Hordes use global recruitment to get access to them. Fair enough. Nakai's vassals occupy settlements conquered. More settlements controlled come with greater rewards. Fair enough. And he also increases recruit rank for Croxagore Ancients, which is fine, I guess. And he's got the firstborn, so he increases the melee defense of Croxagore and Sacred Croxagore by 5. And we get a recruitment cost reduction, but I think people know how I feel about recruitment cost reduction at this point. So let's move Nakai down here. We can encamp at 0 movement, so we can always end in encamp stance should we want to, which is quite nice. And we'll see that the Citadel of Lead here now has a defender settlement, which, because obviously they are a vassal of ours, we get some income from that, which is quite nice. But it also increases the Aldron favour generated. It's got public Aldron taste. Basically, we don't have to worry about this. It gives it somewhat of a garrison, about half a stack, and walls as well. So it's fine. It'll be generally okay early game. Late game, you're probably going to lose a whole bunch of settlements because you're not going to be able to protect them. But hopefully by then we'll have more in the way of hordes. So we'll be able to sort of spare some people to defend it. So let's upgrade our Ziggurat to the restored Ziggurat of that place. Now that Nakai has taken control, the Predator's Sacred Pyramid has been returned to a functional state. It's going to increase our horde growth and also recruitment capacity. Sounds good to me. And you also notice that at the 3rd rank, we can recruit Croxagores. Yes, so we definitely want to do that. For the moment, let's just get a couple. Let's get a unit of Saurus Spears and some Saurus Warriors just to go along with that. We're not really going to end up with much resistance on Albion. Mostly the Vanaheimlings are on Norsca itself, and we've got 2 options here. Now, we could just go for the Norskans. That's an option. It's a bit of a pain, though, from what I found, because obviously there's chaos corruption everywhere. So until you clean that off, you're going to take a lot of attrition. There's also a shit ton of Norskans on Norsca. I don't know if you're aware of that, but if you go to Norsca, lots of Norskans. Lots of big, burly men running around in not a lot of fur. It's a little bit concerning. Now, to start off with, we've got the advantage because we're lizard men and therefore our Saurus are better than most average troops. However, fairly quickly, the AI is going to start building its armies and it's going to be running around with a stack, maybe a stack and a half, maybe 2 stacks. At that point, we're at a disadvantage because we're fighting in chaos territory, so we're going to take attrition if we're in anything but our encampment stance, and they can run rings around us. So I'm half tempted to like head off to the Empire and kill them instead. Maybe we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I meant to give you Route March, didn't I? Route Marcher, just good skill to start off with, isn't it? Right, good. So far, so good. We're going to head down and take all of Albion, I think. Makes sense, doesn't it? We can see some of the bonuses here. So we get these abilities we can use. So Itzel is jurisdiction of the beasts. Gain complete visibility over all your vassal territories. I thought we had that anyway, but maybe I'm wrong? Not sure. But as you increase the number of temples, you get increased bonuses. So we get weapon strength for crocodilios, then we get recruitment cost reduction, then we get the Beasts of Itzel, which is a summoned unit of Razordon hunting. So we get 3 uses of that every 120 seconds, all the way up to this. So we'll get the Beasts of Itzel every, we can use it 5 times every 90 seconds. We'll also get recruit rank increase and all that kind of good stuff. And as we go around, we can also start recruiting. So for the first, once we get, I think it's 3 temples, I think, or is it 5? Maybe 5. We get the skink chief distinction. So we get we can recruit skink chiefs. We get the increased hero capacity and increased recruit rank, and then we can get the blessed Saurus warriors, the blessed horned ones, blessed croxagores, all that kind of thing. This one, that one gives celestial benefits, gives us more money basically. We get more money from our vassals. We'll get skink priests, some blessed pterodon riders, slan of distinction, so we'll get more up rank increase for slan, blessed temple guards, blessed bastiliodon, all that kind of good stuff. We also get ones of magic starting amount, power reserve, a storm ability, which is a vortex, which apparently does lots of damage. Spawns 6 forward moving vortices. Holy shit, that sounds amazing. And winds of magic cost reduction for units, so that's very nice. And then we get the Glyph of Defiance for Quetzal, which basically just makes our garrisons for our vassals tougher to deal with. And that's going to give us things like more melee attack for our Saurus, more melee defense for our Saurus, recruit rank, and also a 20-second invulnerable. So what does that? Is it just one? So it's one unit get basically made invulnerable for 20 seconds. It's not bad, is it? It's all right. Blessed Stegodon, blessed Colbon Spear Riders, all that kind of. I quite like the red to start off with because I think the Razordons are going to be pretty good. Being able to summon a pack of Razordons behind the front line to like just shoot randomly into the back of the entire enemy army sounds pretty potent. The research tree has also changed for Nakai. So we're going to start. We've got 2 options. We can go for sequence of creation, which is going to give us more army capacity and global recruitment rank. Now, to be honest, I don't think that's a good start because we're unlikely to be able to get another army right off the bat anyway. So that's not really, but what we will get is a sequence of growth because that's going to give us increased horde growth. So this sequence increases the rate of growth of Nakai's horde, enabling the construction of more buildings and eventually swelling its population. Soon the warm bloods will flee before them. Yes, there we go. That's the good stuff. Right. Without further ado, unless we've got anyone we can talk to, we can talk to Bretonia.
I am King Leoncor.
Yeah.
So, do you come to Bretonia as friend or enemy?
Friend?
Very well.
Then that's all right. He's going to bring us some wine. That's nice. Lovely. Okay, so we're friends with Bretonia. That makes sense, considering if we're killing Norskans, that's just going to cheer everyone else up. We can also actually see some differences in the Empire here. So we can see that the Wasteland has a new settlement. Arnu, whatever that is. And we've also got Wrecker's Point here. So it's a new greenskin faction that starts in the Empire, the Misty Hills, which is, I think, down here. So it's kind of like this area here. There's also a new Wood Elf province just over here as well. So a bit of change to the north of the Empire and Albion as well, which suggests maybe they're going to add like something else here. It seems weird that they've just I guess maybe it was so Nakai had an interesting start, but it still feels a bit weird that they've just added to Albion for no particular reason. But hey, I'm not going to complain. So let's end a turn. And of course, the really cool thing about this DLC is the fact they've added Marcus Wolfheart. That might not seem like a big deal, but you have to remember that means if you just own Warhammer 2 and this DLC, you can play the Empire. You can play the Empire, a faction from Warhammer 1, which effectively means you're getting 25% of Warhammer 1 in Warhammer 2 for nothing. Now, that could well mean that they've decided to maybe try a different track with the DLC. I've got no basis for this. I keep meaning to do this. Allied factions, you can be fastest. And you know what? I don't care about your heroes. Enemy factions, fast and fast, because I do want to know what you're doing. And neutral factions, fastest and off. There we go. So it could mean that maybe factions like the Beastmen, for example, who are a DLC, and they've said they'll never release DLC for DLC, but what if they just added new Beastmen, legendary lords, for example, and gave you Beastmen alongside that? So you had access to Beastmen in one of 2 DLCs, something like that. That could be quite interesting. I'm hoping that's the route they go, because I would like to see more things added for like the Beastmen, for like Wood Elves, all those kind of factions. I would like to see more legendary lords added for them, just because the more legendary lords you have, the more fun, right? Right. Okay, so let's... Nakai, you're going... Oh, I forgot to... Right. Me. There we go. Spirit of the Jungle. That's me. Fastest. There you go. Right. So let's encamp. We've got... Okay, let's get another one of them. Now, the problem with, I find, Horde factions is there's a lot of end turns because you don't really have much to do in between. And I guess at least that keeps the campaign a little bit speedy, which is quite nice. But sometimes you end up just travelling quite a long way because obviously you're a Horde, so you can just wander off. Less so with Nakai, I guess, because you've got these sort of settlements that you kind of have to protect. But one of the nice things, of course, is if you take a settlement, you can then replenish in its territory because it's a vassal, so it's an ally of yours. So it means that at least you don't have the problems of the Beastmen where you replenish so painfully slowly that you just spend 4 or 5 turns sitting around not doing much because you need to take that time just to replenish your army up to full strength. Okay, Conquata. You're next. Let's boff you. Now, I could auto-resolve this, but I feel like it would dick me over, so... God, I bet that water's fucking freezing. They're up to their Jolly Ranchers in it as well. I bet that is... Oof. It's... They're not wearing much either. Just skirts. It's gotta be cold. Okay, on our right flank we've got Marauder Champions, but we've got the Sacred Crocodillio moving in, because if we can kill these guys fast, it should break the enemy army faster and limit our casualties. So we go smashing into them. Unfortunately, not the rear, just the flank. So I feel like maybe I should have moved my units, move the Crocodilios around a bit more. Never mind. Anyway, elsewhere in the frigid water, the Saurus and Marauders going at it. And the spears fighting spears. There's Nakai right in the midst of the action. This attack looks fantastic. Does tend to get him in trouble. So just something to keep in mind. On our left flank, our Crocodillio and also Saurus spears have managed to break the enemy pretty quickly. They can now come down and assist with the rest of these units. The skinks are there as well. Ah, bless them. There they are. Getting stuck in. I do like skinks. They're kind of like lizard man goblins, aren't they, really? Okay, we're going to hit the flank. There we go. That's pretty good. Coming straight in there. And the skinks are moving in to help against these marauders over. And the Crocodillio then chasing off the marauder hunters. Fairly good. The marauder champions still being... They're just tanking. They're just pretty tanky. The Sacred Crocodilios, though, have managed to make a dent in them. But we're going to pull them out now and get them round behind the marauders. And then bring them in again so that they get more sort of area to attack. Just like this. There we go. That's it. Punch people to death. Yes, that's what we want. Good stuff. Okay, they're going down. Lovely. Some of our Saurus are taking quite a... Well, actually, they haven't actually lost many of their number, have they? They're generally fine. Looks like Nakai is taking a bit of a beating, but he has managed to kill over 50 men just by himself. Now it's 50. He just uppercuts people and they just explode. I love him. I love him so much. Marauders flying everywhere. Yeah, there they go. Marauder champions are broken. The rest of the army breaks as well. Marauders fleeing off in the distance once again. Now we have 2 temples. Okay, that was fine. Gift Ritzel, yes, there you go. Oh, we got a potion of healing. That's actually going to be quite useful. And we've unlocked the Rite of Allegiance, which is this one here. So, Nakai is consistently shored up by the appropriate liturgy, of course, draws his reptilian king to him in the Wanderer's war banner. Okay, all regions belong to defenders. The great plan will cause attrition to enemies. Fair enough. Makes sense. Right. Let's encamp up. Should be able to heal pretty quickly. Now, what do I do here? So, we've got options. I mean, ambush would be quite nice, wouldn't it? More horde growth would be also very nice. Not sure about untainted. I mean, renowned and fit. I mean, upkeep reduction would be quite strong. But I kind of want to make my crocs the best they can be. And so I'm going to go Inspiring Presence so I can beef that up. Now, because Conquata here is a capital, we actually get more temples of the old ones. So the capitals are worth 3 temples to the old ones. So we've got 4 temples despite only having 2 settlements. So good stuff there. So I think we just need 1 more and then we'll get the Skink Chiefs of Distinction. Now, I don't think we can recruit them until we actually get the Skink building, which is this one. Yeah. So we need the Brave Spawning Chamber. I don't know if I want to get that or whether I want to get the Old One Monument, because that increases casualty replenishment rate only by 2%, but also upkeep reduction. It's tricksy. Don't know. Not sure. Right, however, our little skink priest can get harmonic convergence. Next, he can get wind blast, and we'll actually have some offensive magic, which will be quite useful, because at the moment all he's doing is buffing people, which is still pretty effective. Harmonic convergence is a nice buff. Make sure you do lots of damage, but it would be nice to have a wind blast, that electric thingy, orb, or the vortex. That's the one. That one's quite good. We could do that. That could be quite fun. I mean, okay, it's no amber spear, but you know, you have to make do sometimes. I don't think there's much that we can really do apart from just advance on the Isle of Wights. So we'll just do that. I'm half tempted to recruit some more Saurus, but if we get 4k, we can get the restored support, and that's going to give us the shields, and I think the shields would be useful. So I'm going to hold off because I don't think we need them at this moment in time. If we need them later, no problem. We can recruit them in a turn, right? But I don't think we're going to need them to take on the Isle of Wights. And that's going to then give us 3 temples and hopefully some good buffs. So we'll get some more weapon strength for our crocs. And I feel like, although I don't feel that Nakai is Throg level of you can just take all monsters, but I do like the crocs. I've always liked the crocs. I mean, they're not as good as trolls, but they're not bad-ish. Okay, so we've got the sequence of growth. That's a little bit more horde growth coming in, which is very nice. I'm going to get the sequence of healing next because that's going to give us that little bit of extra casualty replenishment rate. Again, not huge, but better than nothing. When war is a constant state, losses are guaranteed, whether through attrition or casualties on the battlefield. This sequence helps Nakai to replenish their numbers for the next fights. Sounds good to me. Let's do that. Okay, let's go and grab the Isle of Wights. Yeah, all right. I'm getting a sense of deja vu, but at least they're charging us this time, so it's different. It's different, all right? It's different. Okay, so Osiris down in the frigid water this time. Marauders charging down the hill over on over on the left flank of the enemy army. Some Marauders with great axes charging up towards the skink cohort who are chucking javelins into the back of the Marauders, as is tradition. Yep. Extreme acupuncture going on there. Lovely stuff. The skink's now going to book it, and the Croxagors charging down into... Yeah, wow, okay, fine. Yes, those Marauder champions with great... Well, no, just Marauders with great weapons. Not having a good time. The Marauder champions now charging in. We're going to buff up our Sacred Croxagore with Harmonic Convergence to help them out. We've now got 66-61, which is pretty good. We've got Saurus Warriors moving to assist. Over here, we've got some more Saurus Warriors versus some Marauder Spears. There's Nakai getting stuck in against some more Marauder Spears. Yep, that'll do it. And yep, more Saurus. Where's our Croxagores? Ah, there they are. Fighting the Marauder Hunters. Yep, as is tradition. Clustering around. It's a bit of a shame that they didn't add like just a Marauder army to Albion, just to make it a little bit different. You know, just stick an army there with like a couple of, you know, maybe a Skinwolf unit or something. Just something a little bit different to fight rather than just the three exactly identical garrisons. I could have auto-resolved. I feel like auto-resolve would dick me over, so there we go. Okay, the Skinks are getting in as well. These Marauder champions being completely surrounded and cut down from every direction. Those Marauders with great weapons did not last very long at all. Croxagore have exploded a whole bunch of hunters. They're now off. We've surrounded and destroyed a unit of Marauders. A unit of Marauders has come back to the fight, but they're going to break fairly quickly. And then Nakai is just in the midst of the enemy, just murdering everyone, as is tradition. There we go, 42 kills for Nakai. He's a bit of a brutal combatant. Just that attack is going to get him in trouble. I'm glad we've got the healing potion for him, just in case we do need to pull him out of combat. And the Marauders now fleeing off in every direction once again. And I was going to say continent, but it's the island of Albion is now fully under our control. Well, I think that worked out rather well, didn't it? 40 losses. And another gift for insult because red is best. Oh, hello. We've got a brass cleaver. Nice. Like that. Like the brass cleaver. I'll keep that. Right, we're going to go Sacred Guardians because I love my Crocs. And look at this, they're already rank 6. 46, 36, and 132 weapon strength. Not bad. 34, 35, not bad. Okay, happy with that. And our little skink boy, he's leveled up. We can give him Wind Blast. That's right, he's now got Explosive Wind. That's going to kill a lot of people. And we've secured the whole of Albion. Good job us. That means we're getting 33 favor return, and I see. So we can, once we get 100 favor, we can unlock the Skink Chief distinction, should we wish. But to be honest, at the moment we can't actually afford skinks or actually recruit them, so there doesn't really seem to be much point doing that. So we might not do that. But we've currently got the brass cleaver, which is nice because that's going to give everyone around us additional melee attack, which is good, and also a potion of healing. Now, where do we go next? So we have options. So we can head over to Norska, or we could go over to the Empire and kick the shit out of them. I mean, we're kind of friends with Bretonnians, so that's good. Sort of. Get to Wrecker's Point. I mean, the thing is, the Norskans are always going to be a pain, and one day they will sail back over. I mean, I also have to be careful of the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves are actually very, very close. Because they've increased Albion's size, there's actually not much further to go over. It's like maybe a turn. So we could have Dark Elves landing on Albion as well. So that could be fun. Fun to deal with. In the meantime, let's... I might just save, you know? What we got? So if we give it a couple of turns, then we can get the... Okay, that's okay, what we're going to do, we're going to head for Pack Ice Bay. And then once we've done Pack Ice Bay, I might head over to Wrecker's Point. I don't know. The victory conditions, if we have a look at the short ones. So we need to hold 40 settlements. I mean, that in itself is going to be quite tricky, because we can't really defend them. So I don't know how that's going to pan out. We need to destroy Norska, Clan Mulder, the Vampire Counts. I mean, I do hate Manfred, so that works. And also the Greenskins, so... kind of got a bit of an L shape going on there. So we need to head through Norska and then down through the mountains and kill everyone along the way. I mean, considering that the Dwarves tend to win against the Greenskins anyway, the Greenskins might just die just because. So that should be okay. But maybe what we need to do is fight the Norskans and be friends with the Empire. Because if we do that, then we should be able to get the whole of Norska under our control and then have like a nice border. We've still got to worry about the Dark Elves. That's a bit of a concern. but that's at least a potential option. So maybe we'll try that. But let's get Pack Ice Bay first, and then we'll just play it by ear. But that's going to have to wait until next time. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Nakai campaign.